Happy Monday. It's August 23rd. And this is episode 21B. I'll say, no, 20B. Because I did a little one, just kind of explaining some things about my last one, episode 19, that was removed from YT, that video thing. I'm in a majorly speaking code so that perhaps my stuff won't get taken down. Somebody did say, oh, you should, post it over on this other one that's not censored. Well, yeah, but I'm not, when I'm putting these things out, I'm not wanting to just like talk to people who get it. I'm hoping some other people will kind of start to understand some things going on here. And a lot of those people are over on the YT platform. So moving on, first of all, my name is Jessica Parker. I am a holistic health coach with a master's in health psychology. I'm a fitness instructor, and let's dive right in. So I had posted a video about 10 things to consider or research having to do with this virus. And you can still find it on Podbean, as well as Apple Podcasts. So if you are listening to one of those, then go look for it. It's, like I said, episode 19. You won't find it on the YT platform. But this is a little bit of the same stuff. Just, I guess, somewhat out of frustration. I'm seeing some things from people that it is frustrating, it's concerning, but also the whole thing got approved by that 3-letter agency starting with an F today, or not the whole, one of the sauces, we're going to call it sauce, got approved, and the one that starts with a PF. So just a few things, and these are things that are based on my own opinion. You can have your own opinion, that's fine. I'm just asking that people do some research, because I research this a lot, and oh my gosh, I've had people come at me, never really with good, solid arguments. A lot of times it's just, let me throw a lot of words at you, or let me type in all caps, or you're just bad. I mean, there's never really good, solid evidence to support what they are saying against what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm just hoping that people start to listen a little bit more. This is a great learning experience. This is a great time to dig in a little bit to what are these agencies telling us? I am somebody who has always questioned things. I've shared before that, even in school, I remember, learning in this one writing class, we really dove into advertisement and what, how there's always a, these different tactics that are trying to manipulate you, essentially. I mean, that's what sales is. And it really opened my eyes. I mean, I think a lot of us, we know, but then when you dive in a little deeper, you start to really question. And also in my master's program, a lot of the stuff that I learned had to do with research and understanding the background in terms of who was funding this and how is the study actually set up, and how are they presenting the statistics, because you can really manipulate statistics big time. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. I need to get a new chair. Something that everybody needs to do, step away and do some critical thinking. So a few things I wanted to bring up. So there is so much money going into this whole thing, and it started to become more of a trend, and oh, you're only popular if you're gonna, be on this side of it, or accepted if you're gonna be on this side of it. And I know so many people who have made certain decisions based on pressure versus what their gut was really telling them, and that makes me really sad that people are so adamant about, you must do this, you are not allowed to question, and if you question it, you're bad. I mean, people are horrible to each other. I did actually just block somebody on Facebook who, she was not talking to me, but it's somebody that, you know, I knew years ago and we never even interact anymore just because our lives have, you know, gone in different directions. But wow, she just was yelling at the world, F this, F that, F you, F everyone. If you didn't take this sauce, then F you, and just so hateful, so hateful. And somebody said very gently, I understand, but also, do you know that people who have been sauced and people who have not been sauced are transmitting this virus the same? I know, but I'm a grown bleep adult and da-da-da-da-da, like nothing of substance, lots of F-bombs. I mean, I really feel like a lot of that is coming from we're being indoctrinated and brainwashed to believe one thing. And if you're not going to be in this like flow, then you're going to be ostracized. It's horrible. So people are absolutely bullying others. And there's no questioning. There's no questioning. So if you have not yet looked at the platform, see, this is one thing where I'm like trying to talk in code, but it's a place where people are reporting reactions that are bad, and it even includes dying. And there have been at least 3,000. Now, was it swine flu? Like there were like 50 maybe deaths, and they stopped. They were like, no, that's unacceptable. So instead, what's happening now is that you're not allowed to talk about it. I have seen things because I follow some other platforms that are not censored, and I've seen a lot of personal stories. You can sit there and argue, well, that's not a study and that's not official, da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what, you guys? They're censoring the snot out of everything, and it's time that we listen to each other. It is time that we listen to each other and what is actually happening in actual living human beings. I'm tired of it. So that number is outrageous and it's heartbreaking. And I've seen so many things that like will tear your heart out. So there's that. Tired of people bullying each other, and especially when they don't have all of the information, and they don't. And a lot of people now are choosing not to. If you bring anything up, you're a murderer. If you even talk about the fact that somebody else, you know, had an adverse reaction, it doesn't matter. It's the weirdest thing. And why can't people speak their minds? Why can't people speak their minds? This is America, and we should all be adults and be able to say, without having your head torn off, that, well, I disagree and this is why. But you get so shredded that I can't even tell you how many people that I know personally who will not talk about it because of this. And so these people who are just like all caps and just shredding other people are creating this vacuum where it's just them yelling, you know, yeah, you know, until it's just them in this little group, and they just think, oh, we own the world, you know. Meanwhile, there's a lot of people who have had bad things happen, who are questioning things, who have every right to question things, who are just keeping quiet and just trying to avoid all the abrasiveness and the crappiness from other people. It feels very, very immature. I mean, that's the only word I can think of, immature. And like what, you know, people, a lot of people, you see them like, oh, peace, love, save the whales. And then they're like, you disagree with me, off with your head. There's so much of that going on. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I would encourage everybody to research the 3-letter agency that just approved this sauce. Research it. Go to DuckDuckGo. Don't use Google. Censorship. And or another platform, another browser, I should say. And don't just type in, like I would type in the 3-letter agency starting with F and what, you know, harmful things that it has approved, and scroll down, because the way some of the censorship happens is that, I shouldn't even say that word, is that they will make it so the things they want you to see are on the first few pages. I've seen that so many times. I've actually seen it happen to where it used to pop right up, and because it's something that's maybe more holistic or a certain person. Now scroll, 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 scroll. So definitely scroll so you can see more balanced information, because it'll happen even on, platforms that we trust. We don't know, things happen, businesses sell, companies sell. Anyway, so just look it up, because there are so many things that you will see. And why is it that there are so many harmful things that are approved and then things that are good for you are not? And I personally, I am an advocate for toxin-free living. I teach toxin-free living as part of my health coaching. And just even in like makeup and skincare, the amount of ingredients by the thousands that are allowed in our products are outrageous. I was about to say it, that 3-letter agency approved, but in other countries, not a chance, not approved. Why would that be? Why would I trust this organization, right? So do some digging. Do yourself a favor. There are, people that we're like, no. Like, I don't trust your judgment, so why would I not trust their judgment on, or the way they conduct themselves or whatever in all these aspects, but over here, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, sure. Makes no sense whatsoever. Why are we not testing for antibodies? It's ridiculous. More and more research is coming out that you likely have very long-term, if not lifelong immunity. Plus, and I said this in my last one, but plus there's also a lot of research, #science, that tells us that if you have had the virus, you should not get sauced, because your body's reaction will be severe in a bad way. It will overreact times 10. So I shared this, but there was a kid that they had him sauced because he wanted to play sports. They went in and to the hospital, and anyway, what happened was he ended up having clots in his brain from the sauce. And they found out that he had the natural antibodies. So they never should have done that. But why are people saying, I don't care? I don't care if you have natural immunity, you must get sauced, even though the sauce is not very effective. I don't care if you have natural immunity, which is gold standard. I don't care if you have that. You must get sauced. Even though it's not, you can still spread this virus. What? I don't get it. Am I missing something? So most people who are for the sauce, they have no concrete reason for it other than trust the science. I kind of stated this already, but trust the science, and then they'll throw out memes. But there's no digging in. It's basically like, because we said so, because they said so, because you're bad if you don't, just because, like, that's what you hear. There's no actual good evidence. And the more, like, each day that passes, we find out more and more, like I have found several studies that say that it's been proven that you transmit this thing regardless, sauce or no sauce, just the same, just as powerful, whether you've had the sauce or not. So why does it matter? And if you've had the sauce, it's supposed to reduce your symptoms, right? And people are all freaked out about trying to speak in code, but the no symptom, spread. So we're creating that with the sauce, but still do it. I'm confused. My head is hurting right now. I don't understand any of it. And then I'm gonna end with this, but I obviously promote a healthy lifestyle, and we really need to reduce risk factors. There was the other day in Facebook, I posted in a group where people are arguing about the face covering. I'm so tired of hearing it. Like, do it if you want. I really wish people would stop telling each other what to do and how they think they're, God and should, be the one to decide. But I was not there to debate that. I stepped in to say, hey, why don't we talk about other things? You know, it was about kids and school. Why don't we talk about the fact that so many of them are overweight, so many of them have diabetes, so many of them have autoimmune conditions, all these things that are making them more at risk to have a more adverse reaction to the virus, which most kids are actually recovering just fine if they get it, and it's very mild. Anyway, but that's a different Dr. Phil show. So anyway, but why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we making sure that our kids have an appropriate level of vitamin D and zinc in their bodies, which are huge factors we have come to know, unless you don't know. Do you not know that? Are they not talking about that on your favorite news program? They probably aren't. You know, because, oh, those are vitamins and nutrients, not F, you know what, approved. See where I'm going with this? Basically, follow the money. And if it's not going to make them money, then we're going to shut it down. I mean, how obvious can you be? You guys need to freaking wake up. If you're not awake yet, freaking wake up, because we need to stand against this. There are people who are suffering for having gotten sauced, and I don't want to hear, well, I got it and I'm fine. I don't have a third head. I'm not turning polka dot, whatever. I am not concerned about now. I mean, I am, and I'm sorry if you've had a reaction, but I'm concerned about down the road. I am concerned about what happens if your body gets reintroduced to that thing. Now you're going to have to worry. Your body, from everything that I have seen from doctors and scientists who are not trying to cover things up, they are saying that your reaction to this virus and others will be above and beyond what it should be and very harmful. Not trying to be a fear porn person. I'm saying that is what I'm worried about. So I would suggest that you stay in your own yard, take care of what's yours, perhaps research that, because you want to be able to take care of yourself, if at all possible, if something like that happens. And I am praying for everybody because I'm nervous about that. So anyway, you guys, if you have any input, then let me know. I just really would love to see people stop arguing about all of this, because that is the result of the culture that has been created by all this money from the pharmaceutical companies, from very not good people who are living the life off of all of us and all of this, and they don't care. We could, kill each other and over all of this, and they don't care. So, and people are losing friends and family, and it's totally unnecessary. All right, so thank you for joining me. You can find me at thatvibrantlife.com, Facebook Health with Jess, and then Instagram Health with Jessica. My podcast is sponsored by OregonValleyFarm.com, which is my family-owned and operated business. We sell pasture-raised pork and chicken, grass-fed and finished beef, all minus the antibiotics or added hormones. So you can head to OregonValleyFarm.com to check that out. We do ship to you. We ship to several different states. It's very important to me that people are eating healthy food. Take care of yourself, you guys. I know it's a very stressful and emotional time, but do all that you can to breathe, pray, exercise, get sunshine, do things that fill your cup. It's important that we pay attention and that we support one another, but that we also don't get lost in all the negative, because I really feel like people want that. So, all right, bye.